Hey there, Scott Dailey with Dailey Dailey Real Estate. Today we're going to talk about K Hovnanian. We're going to call them KHOV because saying K Hovnanian over and over again is going to drive me up the freaking wall, and I'm just not going to do it. So that's KHOV to you folks out there in YouTube land or on our website. So listen, a couple of things you want to understand about how we're explaining these builders at the beaches. First of all, who we are. We're Dailey Dailey Real Estate. We've been in business for over 20 years. We also own a home building company, and that makes us uniquely qualified to help you in your new construction journey at the Delaware beaches. We want you to have the information that allows you to do two things. One, information allows you to make a very good decision, an informed decision, not just an emotional decision, which is what you're going to get when you walk into a builder's model. And two, we want to walk you through this process. If you're a little nervous about the new construction, you're a little nervous about building in an area that you're not familiar or you're not located full-time, we want to take the stress out of that process. We're going to get paid to do that, but we're going to get paid by a referral fee from the builder that you choose. So we want to understand your life. We want to take your life and your preferences and the things you want in a new home, and we want to find a builder in the right community that fits for you. We are uniquely qualified to do that, and we can't wait to work with you. Okay, that's who we are. Let's talk about K Hovnanian. Couple of things that we want to talk about. There's three most important points. First is where we're going to place the builder in terms of the size of the builder. So K Hovnanian is at the top of the ladder in terms of size. They're this high. They're a big publicly traded company, large builder, tens of thousands of houses, or at least thousands of houses per year. And so we'll unpack what that means a little. But if you're comparing K Hovnanian, the best thing to do is compare them with other large publicly traded companies. That is important. The second thing is, what is our definition of value? So you got to have some kind of a baseline to evaluate. We look at this, and the question is does the builder keep the promise? So if you listen to the builder, in this case it's K Hovnanian, to what they're saying, do they do what they say they're going to do? And that, to us, is what defines a good value for new construction at the Delaware beaches. Are they keeping the promise? That doesn't make them the least expensive. That doesn't make them the best builder. That doesn't make them a lot of things. But what it does say is if they tell you what they're going to do and then they do it, that's a good thing. And so it is incumbent to listen to what they're saying, or to at least understand what their value proposition is. Because it may not be the lowest price house, but it may be something else that really matters to you as the buyer. And it's important to have a good fit for your builder. You're entering into a multi-year relationship with your builder, regardless of the builder that you choose, and you're going to be in this community, and it's got to make sense for you, and that's what we want to help you unpack. And the third thing is, the top three things when selecting a builder is still location, location, and location. That hasn't changed. It's still real estate. You're just putting a house on a piece of property versus one that was already put there by somebody else. And so the location is a key factor, and we don't want to ignore that and just focus on, the sticks and the bricks of the construction. The location is important. And so we'll start with that, and we'll just say, look, K Hovnanian builds in some really high quality locations, very desirable places. And if that's where you want to live, then that's your builder. If that's the most important thing to you, that's the builder you're going to select. That's still the top three things. And for some people, that is everything. Location, location, location. And so we want to represent that is an important factor in it. And so that can make the decision about which builder very easy. You take the one that has the location that you want. But assuming you've got some flexibility, or there are a couple of different builders that are in communities that check enough boxes for you to look at it, how do you distinguish with K Hovnanian? Okay, so K Hovnanian, big company. Big company means a couple of things. One, they are not going to give you a ton of choices. They'll give you some options. They have some structural options. They have some finish options. But generally speaking, a large publicly traded company is going to limit your options. They are a volume production builder. A volume production builder is going to offer you, in terms of the size of the house and the overall cost in the house, the cost is going to be lower than some of the semi-custom or some of the luxury builders. That is undeniable. But in exchange for that, you're giving up some of the control in the process, and you are entering their process, and you're sort of along for the ride. So you have to understand that. If you want to make custom changes, if you want high-end, high-quality finishes and name brands everywhere and those types of things, K Hovnanian is not going to be the builder for you, but no national is. And folks, that I'm not knocking national builders at all. I'm simply listening to what they say. And what they say is, hey, this is not a semi-custom home. This is not a semi-custom experience. This is a production build. And so if you're looking for a semi-custom home and you're sitting in a large production builder's model home, you're going to be frustrated, and it really isn't the builder's fault. The fault is just understanding what their value proposition. And if that doesn't have value to you, then you're not going to think it's a good deal and you're not going to be happy with the product. So K Hovnanian has great locations. K Hovnanian is a production builder. Third thing, K Hovnanian, now they've done a lot in this market to really up their quality, to update their floor plans. K Hovnanian has started to take their product seriously, and I might argue that they have taken their product a little more seriously than some of the other builders in the market. Their elevations are snappy, their floor plans are desirable, they just sort of work. The kicker with K Hovnanian is that they do to-be-builts, which they will build to your specifications, and they do quick deliveries, which are spec homes, which are either finished or they're almost finished. The good and bad news about that is our recommendation with KHOV is you look at their specs. That's where the deals are. The house is done if you like the finishes. The reality is if you decide to choose your own finishes, you don't have this wide range of choices in any event. So keeping an eye out on K Hovnanian's existing new home inventory, if you're in a community that's a desirable location, is something that we want to walk through with you. And it's really the best way to buy a K Hovnanian home is to buy one of their existing homes. So there's some free advice. Let us walk through that process with you and be involved in every aspect of the new construction process. It's not going to cost you anything. We want to put our expertise to work for you. K Hovnanian might be a great option for you, and they have a really good value proposition for the right people.